You had to hold that button for 10, 15.
Okay, so here we are today, back at the Brandywine and Benedictine Railroad. Easy for somebody else to say. And this is a third visit. So today we'll focus on what's new. Big railroad, okay. Norm Stenzel's the owner, quite accomplished modeler. And this is Dixie Rails 2018.
I've actually got it divided.
Okay, so we'll start off here with the steel mill, which obviously we've now got to the point of, it looks like operational. We'll find out here shortly. On previous trips, this was not available. Due to the way that this railroad's constructed and so forth, and I have some of this too, this is a necessity. Really is a necessity. So you can stand up, because this is really off the floor. This is in the 50 range. I don't know, I could get a tape measure and measure it, but if you're going to do this, you got to have something for all the short people to stand on, okay? So we'll stand up here, and this is the complete steel mill. So this is about as big as you get. Now, one important thing here. I'll try to frame this in a little bit. Maybe I'll get my phone out and take a still shot. It ain't quite as big as it looks. That's a mirror on the wall. And that really helps make this a lot bigger than it is. Steel mill's a big thing. It's a big operation, so if you're going to do one, you know, you got to try to make it as big as possible, but then as we all know in model railroading, you have limited space. And here comes Mr. Lou.
Howdy.
Almost closed the door.
So, there it is. We'll move on from here and try to catch some of this during the operation. As I pointed out last time I was here, the envy of anybody who's in the hobby. This is one of them. And every tool's in the place. It's really nice. Yeah, let's get this. We'll sign in here too while we're here. All right, but I mean, every tool you ever want, you know, Unimat, grinder, drill press. Drill press is in the range of something you can use, and any other tools and stuff you can think of. Air compressors. This is the dispatchers panel. I don't know if we've made it all the way to CTC. The last time I was here, part of it was, part of it wasn't. We'll find out. And of course, this helps.
What's Roy up to?
Be quiet.
At least 175.
There it is. This is the area of the railroad which last time we were here he had just finished most of it, or had it where it could be scenic. This is the natural tunnel in West Virginia. So there you go, for all you people who want to model this. Okay. Now, what you're looking at right here is a helix. This loops back around, and it's a way to climb if you're looking at railroad without having the centrical helix. This is exposed and it's going up grade, comes out the natural tunnel, and it goes back in here, and it goes back around, and it comes back out over here. So he's climbed up a good 8 inches in that big loop, and then of course it goes back up across the bridge. And oh look, we have dinosaurs have come in, and it's one of the vegetarian type. So, and you come back into the town here of Wishbone. So we have all this detail has been completed. This was not, a lot of this was not here. We have CTC here now on the railroad, so the railroad's moved up. And
This is
Yeah, good modeling technique here is that, you know, very elaborate scene with the river in Brandywine River and the road, but the road curves off and goes back where you can't see it. And of course it ends. Now, what I'm kind of got over here and lean to see the signals. And well, here we have Allegheny, West Virginia. Now, this is a Y back here. She had to turn engines because they do put engines for helpers here. There's a helper here for the mine and so forth. We now have sound effects for, oh, we have an automatic device running over here. We have running back and forth to load the coal. Just a coal dump device. So it's automatic. It continues to run. And the coal factories, that's the Walters kit with some modifications on it. I can see some things that are definitely modified. Now here comes your coal dumper out. And this runs continuously.
Make sure you sign the list.
And this goes into staging right here. Sulphur Springs. White Sulphur Springs. Okay. And this is your staging shots. Okay. Use a telephone system, and again, it gets asked a lot of times, what do you do for your soft drinks? There you go. It's a out of the boat marine business is where it comes from. Now we have picks, little picks. Okay. Got a pin. That's a piece of PVC pipe, people. Readily available. This is for car cards. Readily available at the local hardware supply place. This is his circuit board. Tells him whether his circuits are functioning correctly. Now this is one long side of the room. Going to guess here. 60, 70 feet long, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then looking back over towards the work area. All the people and the faces in the picture are the operators for the session today. Now this area here is not changed. It's pretty much the way it was last time I was here, but this was finished. I'm going to take a minute here to point out something. This is basic railroad cork. These are hand-laid ties and hand-laid track on here. But when you put the cork down, and this is something you really have to watch, you need to, he sands this. I use an orbital sander. I don't know exactly, or if you use an orbital sander, but you have to sand the cork off and round off the edges. Otherwise, if you ballast this, it'll eat up tons of ballast. Plus, this is what you see is what you get. And it's very effective and it looks very good. But he takes the time to sand the cork down before he put the ties down, before he laid the track. Now this is hand-laid track. And this is the town of Podunk, Virginia. Okay? And this will drive you nuts on this place. Believe me. A lot goes on here.
I think Mark had visions of having
And then there's the power company.
They've been working their butts off on that.
This is the old timetable and train orders desk. I think we've completely done away with it. I know he does not use it during Dixie Rails. Another busy town.
Tortoises have worked for 30 years. And
in one district, the booster went down the minute I got 4 trains in that segment, and booster got hot and had a thermal shutdown on us.
That should not have been an issue at all.
Well, obviously they know anything about technology because they'd have known better to do all the things they're trying to do.
Well, a lot.
So again, another
John
step.
Sternisky
And this is Norm Stencil, the owner.
Other than
Okay.
that, it's 100%
Steps
me.
for all the
I mean,
short people.
It's my railroad.
Stops you also from damage to your railroad if people step up their elbows, don't get caught on the railroad.
You know,
Okay, so I'm going to just take a minute here and point out some really nice things here. A little off the model railroad thing, you know. Here we have a toolbox that he's turned into using for various and sundry activities. You want loads for your lumber car, for your log cars? Yeah. Coal loads, I mean, this is really getting to the extreme. This is very, very nice. Now we're going to go up front. And we're going to do the spiel on what we're going to do today and how we're going to do it. May 9th, 1953. And this is the crew.
B&B is a Appalachian area. I want to say coal railroad, but it's more like the B&O because its traffic base is like the B&O. We have a lot of coal. It started out as a clinch field, but it's more like a single track B&O. We have a lot of coal trains, but there's an awful lot of overhead traffic as well. Unlike the B&O, we're running north.
I'm going to turn the clock back on in just a minute. As soon as I catch up, figure out okay.
It's a late train or something around good luck.
Do I have a headlight?
You have a headlight. Remember, DCC is just 2 wires to the rail.
Good law bar, yeah, it seems like it's about there. All right, I think we're very good. I got that, I think we're back on the road. Yep, you got it.
Yes, sir. The Rockmaster talking about the little, got me cleared in there.
I'm just using the lights. You got a lot of buttons on this.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Right. I can understand that.
Well, we've got Jane CD 19 0. routed it in the constant, changed CD 19. So you want to come back on this track, right? Oh, it is good. That's what we're doing.
So put CD 19 in there on the
Yeah, you do through ops mode, programming, change CD 19 to the number of the consistor, which would be the last two digits of it. In this case would be 96. If you want to take it out of the constants, change CD 19 to 0. Come on, I go over there. Now I can go over there.
Get far enough in there, I can snip or something. Is it in the I thought the scale test was supposed to work on the tree.
Don't need me in the picture.
CB what?
CD, it's CD 19
19
to 0.
to 0, enter. And that then has taken it out.
So you should be able to move 60 on 112.
And here's Norm. Norm's gonna be the steel operator today.
Address 1045.
This is the all new section. Well, it's not a new section, but it's finally got it completed. And he is a good well, I can't quite see me. You go down here and take a shot.
But you can still plug it in. Very simple. But he wired on.
Clock is running!
Notice the mirror.
Pass it on.
People,
These are anything.
that building you're looking at is only half that depth. It's backed into a mirror. Want to make your railroad bigger than it is? Mirrors. Okay. Okay, so this morning we're here at the final stop on the Dixie Rail 2018, and we're at the Norfolk and Western Pocahontas Division, huh? Okay, a lot about talk about Indians here. Okay, can't pass that one up. All right, so we're going to be working here today, and we've done the speech. The owner here is Mr. Thomas Floyd. I've got several videos on this railroad already. There's no change in the basic layout here. Further improvements, and we'll try to point them out as we go. More scenery work's been done since I was here last, and we will move things now. Dispatcher here, and this is unique, is he sits in the middle of the helix. See him down in there. Okay, so one of the instructions here is you have to turn off the sound on your engines as you go up and down the helix, otherwise it drives the guy nuts. So talking about new scenery, this is all new in here. Was finished. When last time I was here, this was not finished. So we've got scenery work done in this area. This is Mayberry Depot. Okay, all right. Okay. And lots of detail work's been done in here. This is really more about operations than the other two layouts. The other layouts we've done per se. He has a lot of activity in here for you to do switching. This is a good example of somebody who came in later after the first time I was here many years ago and added a whole bunch of lighting to improve lighting. It was originally incandescent. He's going to CFI, and now he's switching over to as the bulbs go out, he's putting in LEDs. So it helped. Lots of scenery work been done, so they keep adding on. Now, up here, you get more of what takes place. And this is the depot here. First class job. Really great detail. And he's got everything well identified as to where you are and what you have to do. This is one of the big coal operations up here. And this, this is typical of the Norfolk Southern, not Norfolk Southern, Norfolk Western, which later on became Southern thing. Now, got something here I see we got to look at. He's real good friends with Norm Stencil, okay? And I see this is a step up. Now, this one's a little bit high off the ground, I have to tell you. This is a good foot or more to the second level. You'll notice he even has a step up. If you do something like this, you really need to talk to people about it because you got to be careful. So I'll give you the view from up here, and it does change dramatically. I'm at eye level right now, and I'm standing up on that stool. So the game changes dramatically with the step up, which if you have to work an area, it's really important. Now, he's got an area down here that's got to be worked. I guess. I don't know. We'll have to see what trains bring you to. All right. We have car card boxes here. So. I do know this routine here, going up around here, because you come around here to the mine. You have to cross the bridge, and there's a big load of cars. Okay, we have another step-up stool here. This has changed up a little bit. That was always a step-up, but it was different. So, this is the critical switch on this layout right here. I can tell you, it's right hand running, so if you don't go into that helix on the right-hand side, you'll end up with a cornfield meat. Yeah, here's another example of what we were talking about. He's got a power strip here with you having to plug all the stuff in today, and it's an issue. Now, staging for the railroad, this is one end of it. This is the other end of it. 2 staging yards. And intermediate in between, which may or not come into play. Okay. So this is standing up again. That's so you understand. I'm standing. Oh no. Look, 13, 14 inches off the floor. This gentleman's standing up on the same level I am. So you can get the feeling that you got up in the world when you come operate here. You got a raise. And Dave over here is in the process of getting his train out of the staging at Williamson.
Dispatch 445, ready to depart Roanoke, engineer flying.
You control all your own switches here. So we're running the passenger service here, and we have the J.
Dispatch train 99. Train 99. 99, you're gonna wait at Rockfield. I gotta get some passenger traffic around. 99 holding out on the right at Rockfield.
First class equipment here, babe. Well, our next train is kind of a local interchange freight.
Take the 2 above.
We got, I'm sure this I think is a nice, no, that's a 8. That's a 2882. Okay. So we got this freight going from the, coming in out of Norton. It's going to the Bluefield Yard. Okay, this part of the Dixie Rails operation for 2018. We're at Neil Thomas's home, and this is the home of the Diamond River Valley Railroad. Quite an operation, been here several times, and this is going to be a little bit of a treat. Thomas been doing a lot of scenery work, so we got a lot of new things to show.
Dave says he's gonna keep the UR91 keep returning, so keep returning.
Change it. He's a good man.
But how often is that? I call him up, hey Dave.
Yeah. I've known Cheney since I lived here. We started.
Got a hold of Cheney. Dave, hey, this is Neil. Hey, what's up? Got a problem with SEHC. Yeah, I don't use them. Okay. I know you don't use them. I've been to your railroad. How does it work? How do you figure this out? I don't know.
I ran into Dave up at Milwaukee at Train Fest.
It's a typical day.
Was Dave hit by the hurricane?
Yeah. His house, yeah, Cheney's house was hit. I don't know exactly how much damage he had. He
I
did
talked to him a couple
damage.
weeks ago, so he's gonna be here, but.
Yeah, no, him and Buddy. Buddy's house got hit pretty bad.
Cheney's roof came off his head and.
This part of Neil's railroad, I think we've maybe covered a little bit more in another video. This was pretty much as it was. I'm sure there's a few things that are new here. One of the things here that I got to point out that I noticed, and I'm going to have to do something like this, is the safety shields to protect the signals that are exposed. I'm going to end up with this situation when I get my signals in, and this is going to need to be done. Searchlight signals, not my favorite thing, but what can I say? I know everybody likes to be prototypical, but I'm going to say it again. For an awful lot of us white males over 45, when you get to red pigmentosis, you can't tell the difference between the amber and the reds. And even seeing green sometimes gets to be difficult, particularly on the LED searchlight signals. So keep that in mind. Best to go with 3 aspect ratio signals where you have all the colors. Green's on the top, red on the bottom, yellow in the middle, and that way people don't have to know the colors, they just have to know the positions. This is Pinecrest. Okay. And of course, Neil uses car cards. And under Pinecrest is one of his staging yards. Eagle Mountain Paper. That's the Walters paper mill part of it, and it's been kit bashed. All these buildings are kit bashed to cut down on how much space they take. They're cut off, angled back so they can be serviced. And again, distance here, looking down here, I'm going to tell you, it's not over 30 inches, it's more like 2 feet. This over here may be 18 inches. Just,
Anybody over here?
yep.
Might want to go attend the meeting.
No, that might be a good idea. Meeting to get this
Or you
started.
can walk in cold and get yelled at. We do yell.
Yeah. Okay.
They've started. Just this transfer station.
Yeah, one standby.
Change 69's in the deal.
Doesn't matter. I assume that.
What do we do with the off spots? Well,
So what you seem to see on the video of a flicker, again, you will not, as a human eye, you do not see the flicker. The camera's just faster than the human eye. So that's the only reason you see the flicker in the flash. You don't see the flicker with the human eye.
Number 1709.
It flickers.
1019.
It doesn't, well, it's not doing it now.
At
It's
India.
doing it before.
Section
There you
1,
go.
checkbox 2.
You don't
Proceed
see that
from
with the
India
human
to
eye.
Lima on main
The camera's
track.
faster than your eye.
Checkbox 5, clear main track at last name.
Okay, here it is Friday night, and we're playing with Dixie Rails, and tonight we're operating at the Southern Pennsylvania Railroad, SPR. This is an N-scale railroad, and I have been here. This is on the videos, so this will be a follow-up video. And as to what's taken place, this is an elaborate N-scale layout, very elaborate.
Okay.
It's a party line. He'll explain it.
Oh, we got phones here. We didn't need the radios. Effective uses of some backdrops here. Scenic King in the background. The buildings may have been done with model builders, I will ask. This is a plastics. This is some type of plastic. The Iron Horse Brewery. I remember even what train I ran here. I did the one over here, up the branch line. Okay.
Excuse me. That's all right. I'm pushing my way through.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
I'm not really familiar at all with the fence thing. This will be the first.
This is using the switch for the conductivity here. So the wire, if you can see it, and get in focus here, all right. The wire comes across from the throw bar. So when you go in and you throw the switch, it moves the switch, it moves the points. And it provides conductivity also.
Just will it to uncouple, you know. Yeah.
Test of the vision.
Yeah, that's right. This is a vision test.
Yeah, I ran the branch back here last time. I remember it now. Okay. This is the scene. I did ask the owner, David Pritchard, that the buildings in the back are model buildings, but he got into doing weathering on this group of buildings for the depth. Some of the stuff in the back, it's a combination of things, but it's hazy. So you're getting the distance, the idea that it's off in a distance. As he said over here, that he wants to come back and redo these. But this is done with model builders. He put them on what's to be heavy cord board. The ones I did, I used the foam board. So there's all kind of ways to mount them up, but it's an effective way to make a variation of buildings. It's something unique to what you have. Okay, what we have here is a large steel mill operation.
So we missing anybody right here? Everybody.
And of course, that's the Walters station, which is in the N scale.
Usually in a t-shirt and shorts. Manual block, Mother May Ice. There are green tags at each of the turnouts that are control points with a name. There's also a push button next to that you would use to activate it if you need.
So this is some of the staging back here for all of the railroad and the kind of the workshop. And his staging yards. And then this is also where his helix is. And of course, now this is N scale, so this is good size radius helix.
Like we're getting all worked out now.
This is the dispatcher's office that used in the operation of the railroad, so he can keep track of what's going on.
Because even when you did, it was like a real low whisper. Did you hear me okay?
As far as I know. Unless I've completely missed something, and that led to part.
Change engines. We've got a lot of engines down there. If you want to
The
change
service is it says.
So the operating crew back here at the
well,
yard.
that's okay. No, we can do that. There's a lot of engines down there, so we'll back you in on this track. We will
train
back
from
you
the
in yard here.
mine, from the steel mill coming back.
Go down the A to D, work your way through the crossovers down there, down to the engine house, park that engine, find another one that looks nice to you, get on that one, and then when you come back, we'll have this cut out here, and I'll have you produce on it, and you'll okay. And then he'll cut off and run back on the.
You can do anything with a flagman.
Just send the flagman out there and switch it.
It goes back on the track.
The less the dispatcher knows, the better.
Are you operating on the
Where would you like me to?
Okay. Are you operating on the NW?
You know what to do with it.
32 is arrived. It's got
Don't do it.
You should be lined into.
Don't do that.
Yeah, there's a.
Yes.
He told the job to come out behind me.
Is that one of these things I gotta look at a picture somewhere?
No, it really needs to be before.
Camera somewhere to see where I'm going, or where is
They
Breezeburg?
had been
Over there?
running between 30 and 5.
Yes.
And then we're beyond that now, so it's going to screw stuff up.
Yeah, yeah.